Welcome back to our channel, Exposing the Great Australian Government.
I actually do not give a rat pajamas about the Crown and the 1973 change to the Constitution.
Welcome back to a little more uncovering. The High Court, but which High Court and which Australia? Now take note, people, take note of the seals. This first one is the lion and the unicorn. And under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. We have a High Court under the above Constitution, and the governing act is Judiciary Act 1903 number 3, with the enacting manner and form, be it enacted by the King's Most Excellent Majesty, the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Australia, equals Crown and constitutional authority. So how did we go from the lion and the unicorn to the rat and the chook, which is a public functionary seal? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's continue. So, an act to make provision for the exercise of the judicial power of the Commonwealth. Extracts, Part 2. Constitution and seat of the High Court. Justices of the High Court. Sections 4 to 9. Seat of the High Court. Sections 10 to 14. Section 4. Judges. The High Court shall be a superior court of record, and shall consist of the Chief Justice and 2 other justices, who shall respectively be appointed by commission. Under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. Chapter 3. The Judicature. 72. Judges. Appointment, tenure and remuneration. The justices of the High Court and of the other courts created by the Parliament, 1. Shall be appointed by the Governor-General in Council. Back to Part 2. Constitution and seat of the High Court. We go to the oath and affirmation or allegiance and of office. Number 9. Every justice of the High Court shall, before proceeding to discharge the duties of his office, take an oath or affirmation of allegiance in the form in the schedule to the Constitution, and also an oath or affirmation in the following form. I, John Doe, do swear that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lord, the King, in the office of a Justice of the High Court of Australia, and I will do right to all manner of people according to law, without fear or favour, affection or ill will, so help me God. Or, I, Jane Doe, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will well and truly serve our Sovereign Lord, the King, in the office of a Justice of the High Court of Australia, and I will do right to all manner of people according to law, without fear or favour, affection or ill will. So it's the same thing, but it's excluding so help me God for the affirmation. Seat of the High Court. 10. The principal seat of the High Court shall be at the seat of government. Until the seat of government is established, the principal seat of the High Court shall be at such place as the Governor-General from time to time appoints. Registries. 11. 1. There shall be a principal registry of the High Court, which shall be at the principal seat of the court. 2. There shall be also a district registry of the High Court in every state except the state in which the principal seat of the court is situated. Such district registry shall be at the seat of government of the state. 3. The Governor-General may, on the recommendation of the Justices of the High Court, or a majority of them of whom the Chief Justice is one, establish district registries at other places within any state or territory. The fundamental importance of justice should not only be done, but should manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done. The above is our High Court of Australia, under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia, Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. Now, in the annotated version of our Constitution by Quick and Garran, page 725, the Judicature, Guardian of the Constitutions. The High Court is the guardian of the Federal Constitution. That is to say, it has the duty of interpreting the Constitution in cases which come before it and of preventing its violation. But the High Court is also the guardian of the constitutions of the several states. It is as much concerned to prevent encroachments by the federal government upon the domain of the states as to prevent encroachments by the state governments upon the domain of the federal government. So, no more guardians, just treason, just plain straight treason. It's your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. That's perfect, Dick. A single bee is ignored, but when millions come together, even the bravest run in fear. The one thing the government fears is the day we stand together. Unity is the key. Stand together as one people. Under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia, Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. Part 2. The Senate. 7. The Senate. The Senate shall be composed of senators for each state, directly chosen by the people of the state, voting until the Parliament otherwise provides as one electorate, not by political parties. There are no such thing as political parties in the supreme law of the land. Part 3. The House of Representatives. 24. Constitution of House of Representatives. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members directly chosen by the people of the Commonwealth, and the number of such members shall be, as nearly as practicable, twice the number of the senators, not by political parties. All political parties sit under their own party constitutions, which they put on top of our primary law, our constitution. The reason for using this long name for our primary law is treasonous political parties have copyrighted and put their treasonous seal over our primary law. Political parties were able to do this by using treason behind everybody's back. They removed the letters patent of 29th of October 1900 and took ownership of the Governor-General and Commander-in-Chief in 1960. This also removed our primary law, which is a crime of treason, which still holds the death penalty. Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, Clause 1, short title. This Act may be cited as the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act. The word may gives you an option. Acts Interpretation Act, Number 2, 1901, Section 17, Constitutional and Official Definitions. D, the Constitution Act. Now take note, a capital T, a capital C and a capital A shall mean the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, our primary law. Therefore, there are only two names to call the above. Anything outside these two names is not talking about our primary law. This is why we write our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. So there is no excuse which one we refer to, as there is two. We have ours, which belongs to the people, and then we have theirs, their political party constitution, the Australian Constitution. Treasonous political parties copyrighted constitution. The rat and the chook, the kangaroo and the emu, it's got the Roman wreath underneath, trademarked treasonous seal. Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, an act to constitute the Commonwealth of Australia. Copyright, Commonwealth of Australia, 9th of July 1900. Wow! The above Commonwealth of Australia is under the treasonous political parties' changed constitutional definitions without a referendum. All acts from 1960 forward don't have royal assent. Also by the Chief Justice of the day accepting the fraudulent oath of the purported Governor-General, sold the soul of all courts. Whoa. Treasonous political party courts, the scum of the earth. And that's about all they are, just filth. You'll never find justice in a world where criminals make all the rules. How true is that? We have the criminals and the pedophiles trying to rule over us. Treason runs wild. Yes, it does. Most definitely does, Dick. Alright, this is the clubhouse of Australia's biggest criminal organisation. They are employees of a private corporation posing as government. Unless you think an American private corporation has the right to tell you what to do. Yeah, well, that's straight to the point. If you think they are a real government, then you need to stop thinking and start learning. Half the problem to exposing this corruption is due to people thinking they know the truth but never learn the truth. Right on, Dick, right on. In 1965, all state political parties and their governors created acts in conjunction with the so-called Commonwealth political parties to enacted acts for the dollar, counterfeit to our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. This removed all systems to the guardians of the constitutions, and we end up with this garbage. Political parties corrupt High Court of Australia.
I actually do not give a rat's pajamas about the Crown and the 1973 change to the Constitution.
Political parties corrupt High Court of Australia. Justice for sale. It is, yes it is. It is for sale if you've got money. Political parties only recognise their own private constitutions. Australia as an independent republic, where they only recognise Australian citizens as abstract entities. Remember, your name in all caps? Australian Citizenship Act 1973. Abstract entities swear their oath to the political party's abstract entity, Queen of Australia, which equals treason. There is no Queen of Australia. We have shown this how many times?
Who did you guys swear an oath to?
Well, Hugh didn't swear an oath, but I swore an oath holding my hand on the Bible to the Queen.
To the Queen of who?
Australia.
Yeah, we don't have a Queen of Australia. It is Your Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II of England and Ireland. That is our monarchy. That is our constitution. So you're all sitting there in fraud, and you guys know it.
By having no guardians of the constitutions, treason runs wild. Political parties created acts to enforce their treason by changing definitions for the status of their Commonwealth of Australia as a sovereign, independent and federal nation under their Parliament House. Enforcement acts equals all under treason political party definitions.
Minister says...
I'm not going to know the answer. I'm not going to know the answer to that.
You're recording and we're not.
Yeah, no, I wasn't meaning...
Right, you've handed this to you. Yeah. You can leave the station. Thanks very much. We'll pass it on as we've said.
Yeah, I wasn't being rude, and I'm not being smart.
We're not. We have...
I can't ask a legal question to a police officer.
And we don't need to go into the Constitution. That we each have
we don't.
Opinions. We don't need to.
You don't follow the Constitution.
We don't have to follow us, you.
You don't follow the Constitution of Australia?
We're not allowed to
Was it the health department you followed?
We've done. Thank you for dropping it in, reported on.
Yeah.
Troy Cavell, officer in charge.
Australian Electoral Act equals elections for political parties equals treason. Australian Citizenship Act equals swear your oaths to Queen of Australia. Royal Style and Titles Act 1973 equals enforce their Queen of Australia. Lands Acquisition Act equals created land for their Australia. Family Court of Australia equals no Crown and constitutional authority. Federal Court of Australia equals no Crown and constitutional authority. Australian Federal Police equals political party mercenary thugs. And yes, they are. No Crown and constitutional authority. High Court of Australia Act equals sits over all courts, but still sits in treason. Yes, it does. Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia equals pathetic pieces of shit. My oath it does.
I have one question though. I'd like to know, I'd like independent court too, and I'd like to your alliance too. What exactly is it that you're talking?
Mate, what?
All owned and controlled by the treasonous political parties. No Crown and constitutional authority. None whatsoever. Nowhere near the supreme law of this land. Why? We all know why, but when are we going to stand up? Are we going to keep allowing them to do this? Well, all under political parties, sovereign, independent and federal nation. They had to remove their oath to the Crown, as you can't have Crown authority under a sovereign, independent and federal nation. High Court of Australia Act 1979, number 137. To create this private, treasonous political party High Court of their Australia, they repealed sections 4 to 14 at Part 2, Constitution and Seat of our High Court, from the Judiciary Amendment Act number 2, 1979, Act number 138. This political party High Court of their Australia sits as a quorum.
One question though. I'd like to know, I'd like independent court too, and I'd like your alliance too. What exactly is it that you're talking?
Mate, what?
No Crown and constitutional authority. It's not hard to see. They're sitting under the rat and the chook. So, Butterworth's Concise Australian Legal Dictionary, quorum, corium, Latin, in the presence of. Wow, in the presence of. Oh, but not in its presence, just of its presence. So, High Court of Australia Bulletin, 2024, HCAB 3, 23rd of April 2024. There's two links which will be linked under the video, which I suggest you have a good read. So, brain dead lawyers, barristers and Queen counsels, all liars. Yes, they are. Every single one of them. They are all nothing but deceitful scum. You have become what we term officers of the court. That terminology reflects your predominant duty to the court and the administration of the law. A duty which predominates over the duty to the client. So here you go, Mr. Client, shove another pineapple up the rear. And is important to the court's discharge of its role. The delivery of justice according to law. That designation also reflects the reality that you owe your professional legitimacy to the court. So the liar goes to the court first before they look after you. It is the court which admits you, and it is the court which will, as necessary, impose sanctions for ethical dereliction. So, just think, people,
Those bureaucrats are the ones running the country. It's not the politicians.
These so-called officers of the court. Who are these thieves working for? You pay their bill, but they work for the treasonous political party courts.
One question though. I'd like to know, I'd like you to answer it too, and I'd like your alliance too. What exactly is it that you're doing?
Make more.
So you're just paying them to screw yourself. Right. There's the rat and the chook with their Roman wreath underneath. Commonwealth of Australia. In a geographical sense, political parties changed the constitutional definitions without a referendum in 1973, creating their own private Commonwealth of Australia and their own statutory instrument, Queen of Australia. And this symbol is registered in the United States Patent and Trademark Office, US serial number 89000533. The seal of the pedophile protectors. Well, that's right on the money too. Because how many we got? We got Anal Albanese, we got Slow ScoMo, we got this dirty turd ball, we got this maggot Abbott, this thing here. I haven't even got a name for this piece of shit. It just disgusts me. This thing here is just a laughing clown. This thing here looks like some little rock spider, and this thing here is just some creep. This thing here is an alcoholic. These two I don't really know much about. I know this one here is nothing but a slimy scumbag that changed a lot of shit in favour for the political parties. But not one of them, not one of them has backed Bill Heffernan at all. Not one. You slime bags. Right. Chief Justice French. We do so against the backdrop of the supremacy of Parliament.
So must Sir John Kerr accept your advice, whatever advice you give?
Unquestionably. The Governor-General takes the advice from his Prime Minister, and from no one else,
And must act on that advice?
Unquestionably. The Governor-General must act on the advice of his Prime Minister.
There is no tolerance here. He must
None
do.
whatever.
Yeah, in their sovereign, independent and federal nation judiciary. Yeah, guess what? There's a lot of people looking back at all you deceitful maggots. Their god is counterfeit political party Australian dollar. Australian dollar is backed with nothing. Just pure treasonous political party hot air. The same thing that you get out of a show bag from the show. Shit. An update on the soulless, pathetic, purported scum. Treasonous political party, top judiciary. Hey, look at them all. There's no honourable... You can't even say the word. It just does not fit with these 7 scumbags. In 1999, we, as the people, voted all the political parties and their republic acts out and voted to stay as a constitutional monarchy. A federal referendum of the people is an explicitly binding act on all political parties, Australian governments. When Australian governments and political parties don't listen to referendums, they enact treason upon themselves. Now, we all know what treason means. It has a nice little noose. Please, people, comprehend these facts. The low-life scum above, these 7 scumbags, are all appointed by treasonous political parties. Under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. Part 2. The Senate. 7. The Senate. The Senate shall be composed of senators for each state, directly chosen by the people of the state, voting until the Parliament otherwise provides as one electorate, not by political parties. Part 3. The House of Representatives. 24. Constitution of House of Representatives. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members directly chosen by the people of the Commonwealth, and the number of such members shall be, as nearly as practicable, twice the number of the senators, not by political parties. All political parties sit under their own party constitutions, which they put on top of our primary law. The above low-life treasonous scum sits above every court in the treasonous political parties' so-called their Australian courts. Therefore, within the treasonous political parties Australia, their purported courts have no crown and constitutional authority. Political parties are the Republic. In 1999, we voted all the political parties and their Republic Acts out and voted to stay as a constitutional monarchy. We voted all political parties out. When we wake up, political parties are the Republic. Yes, they definitely are. Not one political party sits under our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted under the Royal Coat of Arms. And you know what that means? That equals treason. High treason. You dirty, deceitful people. I don't know how you sleep at night. Members of political parties, each under their own party's constitution and policies, remember, they sit their party's constitution and policies on top of our primary law, have deceived us and our constitutional sovereign and monarch by creating under a progressive evolutionary process corporations that control all entities inside parliaments, governments and courts of Australia, with no separation of powers and with purported Governor-Generals and governors under their control also. Makes me sick, deceitful maggots. Right, now this photo here, this is a perler. We shall have no real hope to survive the enemies arranged against us until we hang the traitors lurking amongst us. Well done, Dick. Thank you again.